I'm not interested in showing that at this time.
No?
I'm not.
Get out of the vehicle. He's dragging me out of the car. Get out of the vehicle.
Whoa!
Corrupt cops caught on camera once again. Imagine walking down the street, minding your own business, only to realize you're being stalked and threatened by those meant to protect you. In this video, we expose the shocking actions of some bad cops in the US who abuse their power in the most random and disturbing ways. If you like this video, press 1. On September 5th, 2014, the founder of the independent media outlet, the Bay State Examiner, referred to here as Ms. Bay, was participating in a police accountability march in Lynn, Massachusetts. During the protest, she observed an undercover police officer trailing the demonstration in an unmarked car. When Ms. Bay approached the vehicle to ask for the officer's name and badge number, the officer reportedly struck her with his vehicle. On September 8th, Ms. Bay visited the rear lot of the Lynn police station and recorded video of the vehicle she claimed had hit her. After being ejected from the lot by an unidentified officer, Ms. Bay entered the Lynn Police Department building to lodge a complaint about the incident.
Howdy. Sorry to bother again. Oh, hey.
Your IDs? You got the plan, right? Both your IDs. Pardon me? I need both your IDs.
What's the lawful reason for the request?
Because you're on private property. I'll look at that.
I'm on private property and you get to see my...
In the back lot. You were on private property. You were asked to leave. You took your time. I need your IDs. IDs?
Can I have yours?
I don't have one on me.
Oh, alright.
Well, go to the chief.
We are.
Sure.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Can we speak to the chief? This officer has invited us to speak with him.
You have to make an appointment with the chief.
Can you make an appointment for us with the chief?
No, that's not my job.
Okay. What is...
So you guys don't have IDs on you?
Can you please tell me who this officer is? He refuses to provide ID upon request.
Well, I think he's asking you for ID because you were trespassing around the back of our building, right?
Trespassing on public property.
The officers told Ms. Bay she was trespassing when she entered the police station's back lot to locate the vehicle involved in the incident. The lot has only 2 entrances, both clearly marked with signs indicating it is a secured area, restricted to authorized personnel only. Under Section 120 of Chapter 266 of the Massachusetts General Laws, a person commits criminal trespass by entering or remaining on another's property after being expressly forbidden by someone with lawful control, either directly or through posted notices. In the 1969 case of Commonwealth v. Eggleston, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruled that this law applies to municipal property. The court upheld a trespassing conviction in the office of the local draft board despite the defendant's First Amendment defenses, stating that the city had both a right and a duty to protect the building and its functions against any self-proclaimed need for an individual entry, which could not so far as appears benefit the public use in any respect. It is well established by Supreme Court rulings that not all government property is accessible to the public, and this is also sensible from a common-sense perspective. Certain government buildings house offices where employees must perform their duties without public interference. Similarly, not every area of a police station is open to visitors. Allowing unrestricted access could lead to issues, such as unauthorized individuals entering interrogation rooms or accessing secure evidence storage. In this case, restricting access to the police vehicles in the department's private lot helps protect both the vehicles and the officers operating them. Considering the case law supporting trespassing convictions on government property, it is likely a court would agree with the officers that Ms. Bay was trespassing when she entered the parking lot, especially since both entrances were clearly marked with no trespassing signs.
Well, it's only public property because it's posted not to be back there. That's police
Where?
property.
Signs.
What sign?
Signs out
I
there.
didn't see any signs.
I didn't see any signs
Did
either.
you show the signs?
You're welcome
What
to go
signs?
back there and take a look after.
Okay. Oh, after? I'm sorry. Alright.
But we need your IDs now.
I'm not interested in showing that at this time.
No?
I'm not. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are refusing? All right, then why don't you just leave?
Then you can go.
So we want to check the...
Yeah, I was going to say, you've invited us to speak with the
Chief's
chief.
a busy guy.
Oh.
You just suggested we talk to the chief.
Well,
Yeah, but I guess apparently he's not...
I'm sorry,
He
what's...
just told you to do that, right?
No, you told us to talk to the chief.
Yeah, and you came around here and he's not coming down here.
Oh, right.
So maybe you should call him
Call the
and make
chief.
an appointment with him.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. We can do that.
And may I have both of your names and ID cards?
It's badge 88.
Badge 88.
Badge 88?
Yep.
Is that you? Oh, 76? Okay.
76. Thank you very much, officer. But it was not very difficult, was it?
Appreciate it.
And you're leaving, right?
Why? I'm sorry.
You're leaving?
No, I haven't made my report yet.
You made your report. The lieutenant
Well,
already
actually,
came
first
out
of all,
here.
I'd like to make a complaint about this gentleman here. Second of all,
What's the complaint?
your refusal to identify yourself is against the law.
Okay.
Literally.
I'm sure, if you ever have an appointment with the chief, you're talking to him, you'll get my information.
Well, I'm sure.
In this situation, the officers refused to identify themselves as Officer 76, declining to show his ID again. Ms. Bay asserts that Massachusetts law makes it illegal for officers to refuse identification. While police officers generally are not legally required to identify themselves, Massachusetts is among the few states that have enacted such a mandate. According to Chapter 41, Section 98D of the Massachusetts General Laws, each city or town shall issue to every full-time police officer employed by it an identification card bearing the officer's photograph and identifying information. Such identification cards shall be carried on the officer's person and shall be exhibited upon lawful requests for purposes of identification. Although other states haven't implemented similar ID requirements, California's Penal Code Section 830.10 mandates that any uniformed peace officer shall wear a badge, nameplate, or other device which bears clearly on its face the identification number or name of the officer. Additionally, local laws may require officers to identify themselves. For instance, the New York City Council passed the Right to Know Act in October 2018, which obligates officers to provide their name, rank, command, and badge or shield number during specific interactions like Terry stops. Officers must also offer a business card with their name and shield number once the interaction concludes, even if the citizen doesn't request it. Many police departments have policies requiring officers to identify themselves upon request, though citizens typically have limited recourse beyond filing a complaint if an officer violates such policies. In this case, it is evident that the officers breached Massachusetts law by not carrying or presenting their identification cards when lawfully requested by a citizen.
But in the meantime, I'd like to make a complaint. Are you saying that I can't do that?
Not with us.
Not with you. Who do I make a complaint with?
The chief's the best guy.
The chief's the best guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make an appointment.
Okay.
What's up with that? What is it that you're looking for?
Well, I found the car that hit me on Friday. I was reporting it earlier. It's out back.
Okay, and what are you doing going in private property videotaping police cars?
What private property?
The property that's parked out back there posted is no trespassing, authorized personnel only.
I didn't see that.
Well, it's posted all over the entrances to that parking lot.
Interesting.
It is interesting, but it is also posted.
Okay.
You're subject to arrest for going back into private property.
Am I being arrested?
Police cars. Huh?
Am I being
I
arrested?
said you are subject to arrest
Okay.
for going out there. Now, what is it?
McDermott informed Ms. Bay that she was trespassing and causing a disturbance in the lobby, instructing her to leave despite her valid complaint against the officer who refused to identify himself. Ms. Bay also informed the officers that she intended to continue recording for news purposes. As previously discussed, an individual can be charged with trespassing in public buildings, including police stations. In the 2020 case of Commonwealth versus Bradley, the Pennsylvania Superior Court upheld a trespassing conviction for an individual who refused to leave a police station lobby after being ordered, even though the person was filming in the lobby despite signs prohibiting filming. The court acknowledged that while filming police is protected by the First Amendment, this right is not absolute. Citing the 2010 Third Circuit case of Kelly versus Borough of Carlisle, the court explained that the right to videotape police is subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions as long as they are justified without reference to the content of the regulated speech, are narrowly tailored to serve a significant governmental interest, and leave open ample alternative channels for communication of the information. In Bradley's case, the lobby filming ban was deemed a reasonable restriction to ensure the safety, security, and privacy of officers, informants, and victims, and to prevent interference with police operations. However, there are key differences between Bradley and Ms. Bay's situation. In Bradley, the defendant entered solely to film, whereas Ms. Bay was attempting to file a complaint while also filming the interaction. Moreover, the Lynn Police Department did not have a no-filming policy, and Ms. Bay was not asked to leave because she was filming. Instead, she was instructed to leave despite her intention to remain and record. Given the complexities of this interaction, predicting a court's decision is challenging. One interpretation could be that Ms. Bay was asked to leave because she was filing a complaint, which might be seen as retaliatory under the First Amendment. Alternatively, the court might determine that her complaint had already been adequately received and that her refusal to leave constituted trespassing. What is clear is that Ms. Bay did not have an unrestricted right to film or remain in the building, and under certain conditions, an individual can be lawfully convicted of trespassing in a police station lobby.
Well, I'm still trying to report that a police car drove into me, and I found it. It's literally out back.
Okay, and the supervisor, the officer in charge, will be out with you when he gets a second to talk to you and get your complaint.
Well, somebody does need to tell him that that's what's going on.
Well, if he's already done that, then your complaint has been filed and documented.
There's information that he literally doesn't have because I didn't have it until right now. When I went back, I found the car. So I would like to tell him that the car is back there, that it's been repaired, even though they didn't report, I guess. Well, you know what, actually, I'm filming this for news gathering purposes at this point.
Okay, I've asked you several times, now I'm telling you, leave the police station.
Okay, that is an order?
Yes.
Is it under threat of arrest?
Your business here is complete.
Yes.
Your complaint has been documented. You are creating a disturbance in the front lobby of the police station. Leave the police station.
Is this under threat of arrest?
Leave the police station. Yes. Right now it is under threat of arrest. You are trespassing, creating a disturbance in the lobby of the police station.
You can't possibly be trespassing here. All right, in that case,
I think
I'm gonna leave
I think
on-
we're done.
I think we're done.
okay. I'm gonna leave under duress, under threat of
Leave
arrest.
under whatever condition you want, as long as you leave.
Fair enough.
A few days following her experience at the police station, Ms. Bay submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to the Lynn Records Department, but encountered some resistance. It remains unclear whether the department eventually responded, but as of September 26, 2014, Ms. Bay reported on her YouTube channel that she had not received a reply. In 2016, Ms. Bay ceased posting on her channel and abruptly announced that the Bay State Examiner had been terminated without providing any explanation. Overall, the Lynn Police Department officers deserve an F for violating Massachusetts law by refusing to identify themselves, removing Ms. Bay from the police station lobby, and preventing her from completing her initial complaint or filing a new one against the officers. While a court might justify some of the officers' actions, such as trespassing, their removal of Ms. Bay from the property does not excuse them from dismissing her claims and denying her the opportunity to file a formal complaint. Ms. Bay clearly indicated that her business at the station was not finished, but the officers ignored her protests and demanded she leave without considering the seriousness of her allegations. It is unlikely that a random citizen filing a report about being hit by an unidentified driver would face the same indifferent treatment. Questions arise about the officers' true intentions in removing her from the station. The law should never be used to deter individuals from filing complaints against law enforcement. Removing Ms. Bay from the building without addressing her complaint was both unprofessional and discourteous. Refusing to identify as officers in Massachusetts carries serious implications, and the Lynn officers' refusal to allow Ms. Bay to file a complaint appears retaliatory. In the end, Ms. Bay was neither arrested nor cited, but she was threatened, intimidated, and dissuaded from filing a complaint, making the conduct of the Lynn officers hard to justify. Despite Ms. Bay's alleged trespassing, she earns a B- because, although she entered the police station's private lot despite the posted signs, she remained calm and composed throughout the interaction, peacefully and respectfully challenged the officers' behavior, and made a genuine effort to follow the proper complaint procedures. It is evident that Ms. Bay did not have the right to enter the back parking lot of the Lynn police station, and likely saw the signs at the entrances. According to the Supreme Court, If Ms. Bay had pursued legal action based on the information she gathered while trespassing, her video footage might not be admissible in court due to its illegal acquisition. Being a victim of police misconduct does not grant permission to break the law, and building a case against corrupt officers is difficult enough without jeopardizing one's own legal standing. Although I commend Ms. Bay for her determination and commitment to gathering evidence against the Lynn officers, I would also advise her to stay within legal boundaries while doing so. Next, on January 24, 2023, Officer Blake Stinson of the Cody Police Department in Cody, Wyoming, stopped a 17-year-old driver, whose name has not been made public, for allegedly failing to yield to a pedestrian in a crosswalk. The driver was on his way to school with 2 other minors. After stopping, Officer Stinson approached the driver's side of the vehicle. The ensuing incident was recorded by Officer Stinson's body camera and dash camera, as well as the body cameras of other officers present.
When someone's in the crosswalk, you're required to yield to them. I need your driver's license, registration, and insurance.
Yes, sir. Can I call my mom? This is her vehicle.
Yeah, you can provide digital copy of the insurance, but the registration needs to be provided.
Can I ask what I was doing before?
There was somebody in the crosswalk and you almost hit him.
It's officers. It said there was somebody in the crosswalk and almost hit him. You want to talk to him?
I need your driver. I don't care. I need your driver's license.
He said he doesn't care. He doesn't want to talk to you. I'm not inclined to talk to you about a parent. I'm not 18 years old.
You're driving a vehicle and you're required to give me your driver's license, your registration, and your insurance. Okay? Those 3 things are required. If you don't provide those things, you'll be placed in custody. Okay? I'm not joking.
You said if I don't provide those things, I'll be placed in custody. I don't know where anything is. Sir, my mom's on the way to help me out.
Okay, go ahead and step out of the vehicle. Step out of the vehicle.
Sir.
I can smell marijuana in the vehicle. Get out.
There's no marijuana.
I'm not going to tell you again. You're going to get out of the vehicle or I'm going to drag you out. Open the door. Open the door now.
My mom's on the way.
I don't care. Open the door now.
My mom down here?
Nope.
You gotta step out.
I'm not 18 years old.
It doesn't matter. I saw a violation. I stopped you for it, and you've already talked back to me about getting your stuff out. Get out of the vehicle.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Get out of the vehicle. That's what's going on.
I know I'm allowed to have a parent or
no, you're not. You're not.
Lawyer.
You're going to get out of the vehicle right now, or I'm going to drag you out. You decide.
Can I talk to my mom?
No.
When the driver did not present his driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, Officer Stinson instructed him to exit the vehicle. The driver argued that, as a minor, he was entitled to have a parent or lawyer present. However, according to Section 31-7D 116 of the Wyoming statutes, every licensee shall have his driver's license in his immediate possession at all times when driving a motor vehicle, and shall display the license upon demand of any police officer. Additionally, Section 31-2-204 states, a copy of the certificate of registration shall be carried at all times in the motor vehicle for which it is valid, and shall be displayed upon demand of any peace officer. Section 31-4 D103 requires drivers to provide proof of liability insurance to an officer issuing a citation for a moving violation. These statutes apply to all drivers in Wyoming, regardless of age. Therefore, the driver was obligated to provide these documents to Officer Stinson during the traffic stop. Moreover, the 1977 Supreme Court case Brewer v. Williams established that the right to an attorney begins at or after the time that judicial proceedings have been initiated against him, meaning that during a traffic stop, minors do not have a special right to a parent or lawyer presence. The driver was not entitled to involve a parent or attorney solely based on his status as a minor.
Mom,
Get out of the
he's
vehicle.
dragging me out of the car.
Get out of the vehicle.
Mom!
Get out of the vehicle. Mom! Help me.
You get that one.
Get out of the vehicle now.
Mom! Mom, help
You're told
me!
very clearly what to do, and if you're not going to do it, we're going to have to take other avenues. Unlock the door.
I can't, sir, you have my arm.
Okay, then get your knee off of it, because I know what you're doing.
Button, please.
There's not one on that side.
Get your knee off of it, because I know what you're doing. Okay? You're going to go for resistance.
While trying to remove the driver from the vehicle, Officer Stinson threatened to arrest him for resisting, asserting that his age was irrelevant. Under Section 6-5-24 of the Wyoming statutes, interfering with a peace officer occurs when someone knowingly obstructs, impedes, or interferes with a peace officer performing their official duties. The Wyoming Supreme Court, in the 2020 case Garza v. State, defined interference as actions that check or hinder an officer's duties, including verbal resistance. The court clarified that interference does not require the use of actual, direct, or threatened force, and that even speech can constitute interference. In this case, a verbal refusal to comply with Officer Stinson's instructions to exit the vehicle would meet the criteria for interference. Regarding Officer Stinson's claim that the driver's age was irrelevant, juveniles in Wyoming can be arrested for actions that violate criminal statutes and can be tried in either traditional or juvenile courts. Section 14-6-203 of the Wyoming statutes states that the juvenile court has concurrent jurisdiction in all cases in which a minor is alleged to have committed a criminal offense, allowing district or county attorneys to commit cases to either court based on various factors. Therefore, Officer Stinson was correct in asserting that the driver could be arrested for obstruction, despite his minor status.
It doesn't matter how old you are.
Open the door, man. Seriously, is this worth it?
I'm on the way. I don't care. I told you to open the door.
It doesn't matter. Open the door.
It doesn't matter how old you are. That has nothing to do with this.
Passenger, unlock the door. There we go. Hold on.
When you don't do what you're told, this is what happens. He almost hit somebody in the crosswalk right here at the courthouse. The dude had to stop and like back up for him to go through, and then he wheels in here and I stop him. He doesn't have a license either.
Officer Stinson alleged that the driver nearly hit a pedestrian in a crosswalk, forcing the pedestrian to stop and back up. However, the dashcam footage suggests that the pedestrian entered the crosswalk after the driver had already passed, or at the very least, simultaneously with the driver. Despite Officer Stinson's assertion, the footage shows that the driver did not almost hit the pedestrian. According to Section 31-5-602 of the Wyoming statutes, the driver of a vehicle shall yield the right of way by slowing down or stopping, if need be, to yield to any pedestrian within or entering a crosswalk. Although there is no specific case law defining when a pedestrian is entering a crosswalk, it is plausible that a court would interpret the statute to require drivers to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk about to step into a crosswalk. Under this interpretation, Officer Stinson would have reasonable suspicion, if not probable cause, to stop the driver for failing to yield. Even if a court determined that the statute does not require drivers to yield to pedestrians who haven't fully entered the crosswalk, or if the evidence showed the pedestrian began crossing after the driver passed, Officer Stinson might still have reasonable suspicion to conduct the stop. The 2014 Supreme Court case, Hine v. North Carolina, established that both reasonable mistakes of law and fact can justify a traffic stop, stating that reasonable suspicion arises from the combination of an officer's understanding of the facts and his understanding of the relevant law. Therefore, if Officer Stinson was reasonably mistaken about the facts or the law, a court would likely uphold the constitutionality of the traffic stop even if the driver did not actually fail to yield.
What was your reason for pulling him over?
Huh?
What was your reason for pulling him over?
Failure to yield to a pedestrian.
Who did it? Stinson?
Yes.
Stinson follows this kid all the time.
Okay. That's perception, but that's what's going on right now.
I have witnesses that have been in the car with him, and Stinson followed him for miles down Bighorn Avenue for no reason whatsoever.
Okay. I need you to step back from the car. Don't step forward towards the car, please.
Can I see my kid?
Not right now. Okay.
After the driver was arrested, officers discovered marijuana and nicotine in the vehicle, leading to charges of interference with a peace officer and possession of a controlled substance. However, these charges were dismissed without prejudice 4 months later due to procedural issues, according to Cody Police Chief Charles Baker. Following a formal complaint from a member of the public, Officer Stinson was placed on paid administrative leave, and the department initiated an internal investigation into the incident. Sergeant Justin Weed, who was also part of the traffic stop, completed the investigation. Although the department concluded that Officer Stinson's account was supported by the pedestrian's testimony, the city announced plans to hire an independent party to review the investigation's findings and departmental policies. As of this writing, no further details on this review have been released, and it remains uncertain whether the driver and his family will pursue legal action against Officer Stinson or the Cody Police Department. Overall, Officer Stinson deserves an F for exhibiting an aggressive and impatient attitude throughout the encounter, misrepresenting the nature of the traffic violation, and berating the minor driver to unlock and open the vehicle door while his arms were being held out the window. Although Officer Stinson may have had legal grounds for the traffic stop, his hostile behavior was disproportionate to the minor infraction. While the driver's actions may have been frustrating, Officer Stinson's unprofessional conduct, especially when dealing with a minor, was unacceptable. Additionally, Officer Stinson exaggerated the severity of the traffic stop to imply that the pedestrian was in imminent danger.
There was somebody in the crosswalk and you almost hit him. He almost hit somebody in the crosswalk right here at the courthouse. The dude had to stop and like back up for him to go through, and then he wheels in here and I stop him. He doesn't have a license either.
In reality, the dash cam footage clearly showed that the driver did not nearly hit the pedestrian. While it might have been reasonable for Officer Stinson to believe a failure to yield occurred, his observations should have ruled out any interpretation that the driver almost struck the pedestrian. This incident underscores the importance of educating young people about their constitutional rights and the authority of law enforcement officers, as few public school curricula address these topics. Resources like flexyourrights.org provide valuable information for those wanting to learn more about their rights and interactions with the police. Additionally, numerous free resources are available to educate individuals on these subjects, including the channel you are watching right now. Thanks for watching. If you're as outraged by these corrupt cops as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more eye-opening content. Stay safe and stay informed.